And I'm joined by Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island. He's a member of the Banking Committee, chairs the subcommittee, oversees the SEC, and others. Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. 6 months into Dodd-Frank, you're going to hear from Ben Bernanke, a host of other regulators. Are you satisfied with the progress today?
They've made a lot of progress, but they have so much work to do that they have an unfinished agenda that's quite significant in terms of rulemaking on a host of different issues. And then the other critical issue is making sure they have the resources to get these rules not only promulgated effectively, but enforced effectively.
How great a risk is that right now? You've got Republicans in the House trying to slash the budgets of the CFTC, the SEC for this fiscal year.
I think it's a dangerous situation because without effective regulation, we'll find ourselves, unfortunately and regrettably, in the same position we did 2 years ago, where unregulated markets, particularly in derivatives, caused significant damage to the overall economy. That was not just restricted to Wall Street, it crippled Main Street, huge unemployment, et cetera. And if we haven't learned from the last several years of very difficult economic challenges about effective enforcement, then I think we've made a mistake. We have to have good regulations and good enforcement.
What's your level of confidence right now that the Senate, democratically controlled, the Republican House, is going to agree on funding levels for these agencies that will not undermine this law?
I think we have to continue to make the case that any short-run savings can contribute to the same type of lax regulation, under-resourced regulation that led in many respects to some of the financial problems that we're still battling with. That if you want a strong economy, particularly in financial markets, you have to give the world and the American public confidence that they're well-regulated, transparent, that their money's safe. And frankly, without good enforcement, that confidence won't be generated.
At the same time, you've got your Republican colleagues on the committee urging these regulatory agencies to go slow. They're not giving it time for public comment, for example, and they're making the same case they did with the health care law. There are aspects of this legislation that are going to do harm to the financial services industry, to the country as a whole. Are you, as Democrats, prepared to dial anything here back to revisit this law?
No, we had a very exhaustive hearing on Dodd-Frank. We had a legislative process that culminated with legislation that had support on both sides of the aisle. And frankly, if you want to look at the cost, look at the cost of poor regulation in 2008, 2009, 2007, when particularly under the Bush administration, when resources were cut back, when individuals could not be hired by the regulators, when policies were to go slow. That, I think, contributed to some degree, not completely, but to some degree, to the financial crisis.
Ben Bernanke's going to be there today. You expect him to comment on the economy as well?
I think he will, but I think it'll be sort of tangential to the overall issue of Dodd-Frank.
All right. Let's leave it there. Senator Reed, thanks very much. Senator Jack Reed of Rhode Island, member of the Banking Committee. Betty, that hearing begins 10 a.m. Eastern Time here on the Hill.